My name's Tyler. I'm out on tour right now with Mako, and we're gonna walk through my simple gear setup for this gig. Right here, I've got my trusty Jazzmaster. It's not American, it's a Mexican, but I love it, and I'm kind of of the philosophy that if you have thick strings and you hit them hard, it's gonna sound good. I bought this guitar. It's not a special year or anything. I just went to Guitar Center when I was in high school and got this Jazzmaster, and I like it for traveling gigs because it sounds good and it doesn't have like too much sentimental connection, or it's not insanely expensive, so it's a good sounding guitar. And yeah, for this one I bought some foam on Amazon to create sort of a bridge mute so it doesn't have a lot of those harmonic overtones when I'm playing. Because for this stuff it's really a lot of snappy sort of pop guitar. Yeah, so I use 11 gauges and they're D'Addario. I just recently started using D'Addario. Before that I was on Ernie Ball Beefy Slinkies. But for this gig it made a little bit more sense to go with the D'Addario. They're a little brighter and more shimmery, I guess. But yeah, and then other than that, on this guitar, it's got this jazz sort of pickup sound that gets it really kind of muffly, like some old school jazz guitar sound that I never use. So that's always off. And I'm generally on the middle pickup, which is using both of them because these P90s are quite noisy. So having them on the middle kind of cancels out some of that ground loop noise that I'll get. And that way I'm just able to dial in the tone with my Axe effects, which I have over here. So this is the Fractal AX8. It's a little bit dirty right now. It's been in use with just their expression pedal. I bought this for this tour because there's a lot of fly dates, so it's amazing. This is the only thing that I need. For a guitar gear purist, it's a little bit strange because there's no amp, and it was certainly an adjustment for me as well. But since this gig is all on in-ears and we're playing to a click track and we're traveling a lot, it's pretty amazing to just show up with the pedal board and have everything ready to go. So yeah, Fractal, they've been coming along and doing a lot of amp modeling and speaker cab modeling. So initially, like when I heard about it, I was pretty hesitant because that stuff tends to sound pretty lame, but they do a really good job, and there's a whole online community of cab packs and different things that you can source and download and use for your gear. So I'm running out of essentially a mod of the Fender Twin Verb, and that's kind of my bass sound for most of the songs. And then within each song I program different scenes. So normally on a pedal board and on other gigs you're tap dancing a lot, right? You're pushing a bunch of different pedals. But on this one I just have to push one button and 5 things change. So I can change my amp, I can change which pedal's on, I can change how the signal is routed, and you can get really, really deep and kind of dorky with it. So it's perfect for this gig because, in this kind of music, it's not necessarily composed in a band setting, so I have to figure out how to emulate what Alex did in the studio when there might be lots of different layers, lots of different sound textures, and parts that aren't necessarily written with one person playing them in mind. But having this allows me to just kind of do boom, and then my reverb goes from a 2-second to like a luscious 10-second cathedral with a huge multi-stereo delay and one click of a button. So it's pretty great. Mako's pretty interesting because there's a lot of really pretty cinematic sort of songs, and then there's also your kind of straightforward pop stuff. So for this, it's a lot of balancing between like a really good clean sound with just a nice reverb and maybe a small delay, and then trying to get these like larger than life sounds, which is what I was talking about earlier with the huge reverbs and multi-delays and a lower octave pitch to make the guitar just sound massive. And there's even parts where it sounds like I'm playing a bass, and what I've done with this is pitch it down 2 octaves so it's down in the bass register and kind of sounds like a bass. So yeah, other than that, I have an overdriven sound. There's quite a few parts, like in Devil May Cry or Let Go of the Wheel, where I'm kind of shredding and going hard up there, so it's just a big washy, delayed, distortion, pitch shifted, reverby sort of thing. So I just wanted to say thanks for checking out my simple travel rig for this Mako gig, and we hope to see you guys at one of the shows on the Breathe Tour coming up soon.